And now I'm presented with a touch-friendly interface from where I can create audits, view open audits, respond back to audits, do searches, and get some feedback on metrics and different findings that are out there on audits that are either assigned to me or to another department, etc. So if I wanted to create a new audit from scratch using this application, I'm just going to tap Create, Edit, View Audit, and then I can tap New, and then I can give my audit a name. Let's call this one Inspection of Meat Packing Plant. I'm just making something up on the spot. But this would be the name of whatever you're inspecting if you're an auditor. So I'm going to click Save. And then I can provide some additional details about this audit. You can see that it's automatically assigned an audit number or an inspection number, depending on your process. And then we have some preloaded selections within the dropdown for different types of inspections for various industries. But this can be configured to your liking. So let's just say that I'm doing a unscheduled facility walkthrough of the meatpacking plant. And then immediately I can just start adding findings. So let's just add a finding. If I'm an auditor walking through a meatpacking plant, I may notice things such as, it was discovered that the training records were incomplete. Just something generic like that. Okay, so that's my first finding. I then can select from the pre-configured types of findings. Let's say that this is a SOP deviation. Maybe the meatpacking plant has SOPs that says all the training records need to be complete. They were incomplete, so therefore this is an SOP deviation. Let's assign a severity level to this. Let's call this moderate. And then we can save the comment. I'm just going to tap that with my finger. It's going to ask me if I want to continue. I'll say yes. And you can sort of see in the background it's building the XML, as long as the Excel backbone that's used to drive this application. The actual backbones are locked, so there's no way that a user could actually inadvertently manipulate some of the XML data, some of the data that's stored in Excel, some of the data that's stored in a hidden access file. And there's also the ability to store data in the cloud as well. But all of that is locked away from use, and the user is forced to perform all actions through this interface via their Microsoft Surface or their Windows laptop. So let's just add another finding, and let's say that it was discovered that improper chemicals were being used. And let's assign a finding to that. Let's say that that's a protocol deviation. Let's say that's critical. And then we can save. It also asks me if I want to continue. Let's just say yes for now so we can get back to this dialogue. We see that all of the comments that are currently on file that we just inserted are automatically shown on this pane on the right. We can actually edit those if we wanted to by selecting edit and then having the ability to go back and edit some of these comments. We can actually send these comments instantly to someone via email. Let's just do that right now. If I tap send with my finger, I can type in an email address. Just type in mine and then click send. And it actually will forward that information to the actual recipient via Microsoft Outlook. So that's also a nifty little feature. If I tap create text file, it will generate a text report of this entire audit and save it to a specified folder location as a notepad file. So that's actually kind of convenient because you can have it store those text files into Dropbox or OneDrive or Simplicity, and you can instantly have some collaboration going on in instant notification, pseudo instant notification, to have those files instantly sent to a folder that's being shared via a cloud storage solution. So if I want to save and finalize this audit, I'm an auditor now, I input my 2 comments and I want to lock this and have someone address these comments, I can just tap end session and finalize audit. And it's asked me if I want to do that. Am I sure? I'm going to say yes and confirm all the prompts. And now I've closed out that audit very simply. And I could be someone that really doesn't have any familiarity with the quality assurance auditing process, but this software makes it very easy for just a novice to come in and start adding comments to audits, start creating inspection reports. It's just very easy to use, and it makes it doubly more fun to use if you're using it on your tablet walking around within a facility such as the Windows Surface. So now I can actually perform some additional actions and look for open audits. If I tap open audits, it's going to generate a little text report showing me all the audits that are currently out there that are open, and it's actually just looping through and finding that information. So let's give that a second to process. And we can see here that I have a pop-up saying that there were 2 hits. And then we can see that this is the audit that I just created. And it's actually an open audit. It's draft. It hasn't been signed off and completed yet. So it has little search features that you can do, those sorts of things. You can do a full audit extract and see all the details for all audits. I can do by search engine and type in something like meat packing plant, and it will pull in that audit. So let's say now that I'm a manager of the meat packing plant, and inspector came in, they already provided their comments, and I want to address those comments. I can just click on create, edit, view audit again. I'll just tap that with my finger and then look for an existing audit, and I'll select that audit number and then click view. And it will actually load that audit into the system. And now is where I have my ability to respond to the individual audit comments and provide a resolution or corrective action. So the very first one, it was discovered that improper chemicals were being used. I can just respond back and say, all chemical reagents have been discarded and replaced. And then I can lock in my response by saying save. It's automatically going to do a little audit trail in the background and apply my name and a timestamp to it, and then it locks it. And then I can respond back to the next comment. It will discover the training records were incomplete. Just say that all techs were retrained. And then I'll lock that comment in, actually that corrective action in, and it saves it and gives me a timestamp. And then I could log back out. I could print this to a PDF. I could do sort of all types of things with it, and it's just very easy to do because I'm walking around with a tablet, the Microsoft service, and I'm just tapping, pointing, and clicking. So let's say now this audit needs to be approved. I've responded back to it. Someone can just come in and tap approve audit, and then it's going to ask you to confirm. Are you sure you want to approve this audit? This is going to lock it and forever make it uneditable within the system. We'll say yes. It confirms again. And now that audit is closed out within the system, and then we're done. So it's a very simple way to have a full quality assurance audit system within the Microsoft Surface. Very user-friendly, easy to use. You don't have to be familiarity with quality systems and all kinds of issues going on with being a quality assurance auditor. You can just train someone in use of the system and give them a Microsoft Surface or a capable Windows laptop, and they can just walk out and just start performing these inspections, performing audits in accordance to your company guidelines.